Today we have got none other than Glassbox Institute lead educator, founder, Peter Gosling. So Peter's used a very common mapping section, box section on top, which will come down one side of the parietal ridge. He will find the rounds of the head, and he'll take his section from the recession point to a point where the head starts to flatten out at the back. At that point, that's when he takes the section across the back, and then he also takes another section, the triangle section, down into the crown area. Next, what I want to talk about though is his first cutting section. I want you to notice how his initial section is pulled down and slightly forward towards the client's face. What this is going to do is build weight in the direct opposite way. So if he's pulling it down and forwards, he's going to build weight up and backwards. He has his cutting line here, and it's good to notice Peter's finger angle all the way through this section is he's clearly got a good understanding of where his finger position needs to be throughout the whole haircut to create the shape and the structure that he wants. And each subsequent section that he takes follows the head down and round and into the back. Now, throughout this video, we will notice that each section that Peter takes, he brings it a little bit down and forward every single time like this. Now, every time he does that, he's naturally going to be building weight backwards every time. And you'll see when he gets to the section at the back, once he's completed the back section, he demonstrates the shape that is actually created into the back for you. Here is where we can see a couple of things going on. We can see this mapping section now that comes into the back, and we can also see his cutting sections as well, which are coming into the back from the front down into the nape. But a key thing to watch out for with Peter's work here, and his cutting line specifically, his finger angle is always short at this area, and his fingers are tilted upwards, so that the cutting line is gradually getting shorter as he gets lower into the back of the nape. So his finger position is going like this, which is going to result in a build-up of weight vertically, and we can see that he's following the head shape round with his cutting line and his fingers. And it's when he gets exactly to this point in the haircut here, like where the triangle section meets and creates the corner, when he has completed this section here, that's when he'll move over to this side, starting from the front, working his way back. Here is a nice side profile of the section pattern that Peter's created. We can see his first cutting section comes down here, like it does on the other side. But what I really want you to focus on is what he's doing with his hands and the hair right here. And this is what a lot of barbers still don't do in today's haircutting, which this can save you so much time, effort, stress, and stops you from making a ton of mistakes. So what Peter's doing here is pulling the hair down, and he's checking the balance on this side and this side. So what Peter's doing is going to be pulling equal sections from the front corner, like the temporal area, pulling the hair down, checking the length. Pulling the hair down on this side, checking the length. And he's checking for balance. Once he's confident that both sides are equal length, he can continue with the rest of the haircut, which he will do by taking these sections into the back. And we can see this is going to be his cutting line here. I'll turn this orange for a balance check. Now, if you want all of these head sheets for free, you can go to the Cutting Club community in the link in the description of this video. Join the community, it's absolutely free, and you can download all of these head sheets for you to study at your own will, break them down yourself, draw on them, and improve your own knowledge in your haircutting. So that's the first link in the description below. Join the community, get access to all of the head sheets that I've created for you and all the previous ones as well. Now here we can see this is where the mapping section comes into the back. This is the cutting sections that he's had going into here, and then the second side that he would have had coming into here. And what he's visually showing you here is, because he pulled this section a little bit down there, this section a little bit down there, this section a little bit down there, and then also this section a little bit down there, this one down there, and this one down here, he would have built weight in the opposite way. So all the weight will have been built in this direction, creating this triangle and build up of weight into the back that he's clearly showing you here. Next up, we have the connection point. So I'm just going to draw where this mapping section would have been. Now we have this section being brought down here and being cut on this cutting line. And again, what is he going to do? Once he pulls this section down here, he's then going to be building weight in the opposite. Building weight up into the crown area where the client's head is going to be quite flat. And because Peter's very knowledgeable with his haircuts and client's head shape and bone structure and stuff like this, he knows that by pulling down each section like this, he's building weight up into the area where the client's head and skull shape is going to be naturally a lot flatter. And he will pull this section down to here too, building up even more weight. And then something that I want to make sure that you don't miss out on here. If you get this wrong, you really could destroy everything that you just created with this. So Peter is now pulling his sections up to here. He took a vertical section down the center of this point at the back of the client's head. He's cutting this cutting line right here. Why might he have done this? If he's, before pulling this section down here and down here to connect everything in, why is he now pulling these sections up here to cut at this cutting line? Well, this cutting line specifically is actually a cross check, because if you think about it, if all these sections have come down horizontally, the ones on the other side have come down horizontally too, he's now took a vertical section to check. And you can see, if you look here, he's not actually cutting that much hair off. So he's just removing anything that's not connected fully in the center. So removing any inconsistencies throughout the center of this weight that he's retained in the back. So he's not actually removing any more weight or cutting much hair off. That's going to change the weight significantly. This vertical section is actually a cross check to the horizontal sections that he pulled down from the crown and connected into the sides. This is something that if you don't spot this, you could really ruin the whole weight creation in the back. By watching something like this and not understanding what Peter's actually doing here, you might think to pull everything down, connect it in, and then bring it all up vertically and then start removing weight. That is not what Peter's doing here. He's literally cross-checking his weight creation in the crown area. And that's what leaves us with this very nice haircut at the end. And like I said, you can get all of the head sheets for free in the Cutting Club community in the first link of description. But yeah, that is Peter Gosling of Glassbox Institute in Canada. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a comment below. I'll be doing more of these. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another one of these. See you in the next one.